Right, we've got a new episode of Ball and Brawl, back after a long period out. We're missing Dave today, obviously can't make it, unfortunately. But we've got Sam Jones and a special guest, Michael Conlan.
Yeah.
Mick, got a fight coming up against Lopez, world title shot after a couple of fights back to back.
Yeah.
You looking forward to it?
I can't wait, mate. I can't wait. It's a fight that I'm really excited about, and one that I believe I can win and win well.
No, I agree. I think the options for you now in that division are unbelievable after this fight. You've got Warrington, you've got Wood, Lara, their rematch. How do you think that one will go?
Same again. It's the same again. Too soon. The fight's too soon. He should not have jumped back in this quick. He shouldn't have took the fight in the first place because the writing was on the wall. He was going to get flattened, and that's what happened. You know, I wanted him to win, but unfortunately, his coach put him in a position to take a fight which he didn't need to take, and he got knocked out.
What do you make of him taking this rematch so quickly against Lara after a bad defeat, instead of opting for when he beat you to take a rematch against you for probably a lot more money?
Listen, it's different. That was a mandatory, so there's no rematch clause in there, and he should have took the fight against me. He would have made double the money, and you know, it's a fight he would have probably had a better chance of winning because he won the first one. So, you know, it's his own fault. Probably more so his coach's fault. You know, he's the one, at the reins. So
making the decisions.
If he had listened to himself and listened to the right people around him and took the rematch, Hearn, I seen him on this podcast talking about the rematch. He wanted the rematch. So if he had took that, he'd have made triple basically, because he would have had
the stadium at the City Ground. He'd have been able to have his dream.
Would have had the City Ground, everything, but that's gone now. Once he gets flattened again by Lara, it's what happens there. He's not going to fight this summer anyway in the City Ground, and by next year, what's he, 35, 36? He's going to be next year. What happens there?
Do you not think the fight's always going to be there? I know.
For me,
yeah, because for you,
he has to bring something to the table.
I know, but your pride, because I know you.
Yeah.
I know you. Your pride, you beat Lopez, For example, you beat Lopez. Yeah. I know, a defence against Josh Warrington, massive fight. No matter what anybody says, it's a massive fight. And then Leigh Wood's still around next year, and you're in the back of the mind thinking you was winning that fight. You were putting on probably a career best performance, correct? Against Leigh Wood, winning comfortable.
Yeah.
What happened. Would you not give him a world title shot?
No.
Oh, Mick.
Mick.
Look at me when you say this.
I'll look at you straight now and say, I wouldn't, because it's a business and it needs to make sense. If it makes sense financially, yes.
Correct.
But if it doesn't make sense,
I'll ask Jamie about it.
But it's always going to make sense financially.
But is it when they've got?
It might not in 2-3 years' time. To be fair, it needs to happen.
Exactly. It should have happened sooner. If it had happened sooner, it would have worked. But also, when we talk about featherweights, last night, you had Isaac Dogbo versus Robbie C. Ramirez. Robbie C. Ramirez beat me in the 2012 Olympics. He just won the WBO title last night. They're both for top rank. I'm with top rank. I win this title. I have a unification right away. That's big money right away. So
but it's not as big a money as you'd get for Josh Warrington. Come on, Mick.
I think it's bigger.
No, it's not. You against Robbie Ramirez is nowhere near the level.
I've already heard the money, which has been spoke about unification fights.
But you've not even spoken to about like a Warrington fight, because these are massive.
Warrington
occasions.
Conlan sells out MSG, Ellen Road,
Belfast,
the Belfast
Odyssey
Arena,
and in the park.
Yeah,
you can do it anywhere.
Probably does that as well. Yeah,
it does. Aye.
It's an unbelievable. But Warrington's got a win though as well. You're forgetting Mick. I'm not just saying it because he's here. Mick got knocked out, came back like no boxers do. Had three fights
against a puncher as well.
2 fights back to back against a puncher and against Garcia, who's obviously a low opponent to Mick, but he's been active and he's come back, got himself back into a position to fight for a world title, and you don't see many fighters doing that after a defeat.
What I will say though, the Lara fight didn't go how I thought it was. I thought Leigh Wood was going to get knocked out. That's what I thought.
You didn't think he would do as good as what he done?
No, correct. I told you this. I told Leigh Wood. I spoke to Leigh Wood about it. I told him you shouldn't take the fight. I was honest about it. I got a bit of criticism for what I was saying in my interviews about it. I was probably a little bit harsh. Probably could have worded it differently. But I just thought, have a little interim fight, rematch Mick, make loads and loads of money. But he chose to fight Lara. But I was impressed with his performance against Lara. I thought he was very, very good. I thought he was not winning comfortable, but
I thought he was winning quite comfortably.
he was.
In terms of rounds, he was winning comfortable,
Yeah.
but second round, it was shaky moments in that round. When Lara unloaded, that was dangerous for him. You could see he was physically hurt, but he's a tough guy, I'll admit. He's a warrior. He is a warrior. He can take it, he can get up, he can go again. And
Do you not think he has any chance, Mick, of beating Lara in the rematch? Or do you
going
just-
off the first one, you could say yes, he does. And I think the only reason he lost in that one, it was probably inevitable that he was going to get knocked out. Like I thought, I did think it, I did say it, but he was boxing that well, and then he got greedy and started to try and trade hooks with someone who's a hooker. If he had just kept boxing, he probably could have maybe even late stopped him, but he was definitely winning them points.
That's the dream scenario, isn't it? He wins that fight. You
You've
beat
beaten
Lopez. Oh my God, that's enormous. Then it goes from a big rematch.
But it doesn't go to City Ground. If I'm world champion, I don't go to the City
No, I
Ground.
understand, but you should probably do it maybe somewhere
You do for the coin.
I wouldn't. I would go.
Neutral.
I'd rather somewhere else.
somewhere neutral.
I would get paid as much money going somewhere else. I mean, I got paid more money the first time going than that.
Where do you think hypothetically of the fights? I like talking about fights. I think it's a great natural rematch. But where do you think it could happen then? If for example,
MEN or what, AO Arena?
Yeah,
is it right?
in Manchester Arena.
Forgetting this as well, he could end up. We've not even spoke about his name. He could end up unifying against Lara if he wins and Lara beats Wood. That's a big fight.
I'll tell you something as well, and not many people have said it. Barry Jones actually said it. It's not an easy fight, but his style for you. Listen, he could. Let's be honest. If Lara hits you on the head, anyone on the head, you could potentially get knocked out. Let's be real on about. But in terms of his style, that could be an easy night's work. Not an easy night's work for you, but it's.
Listen, fights like that, they look like they're easy, but they're actually going to be tough. Every fight's tough, no matter what. Especially at this level, every fight's tough. Like against Lopez, it'll be a very tough fight. But I think people could look from the outside and go, "He won that easy. That was easy," but it's never going to be easy. You got to be switched on for 36 minutes, every single second of that 36. So. Yeah, it'll be tough, and Lara I think would be a very, very tough fight, very dangerous opponent, but someone who, I feel like I could actually beat very comfortably.
Can I ask you a question about the first Leigh Wood fight? Because I didn't know you at the time, and before that fight happened, from the outside looking in at the interviews in that, it seemed to me that you thought that fight was like he wasn't on your level anywhere near. In the fight you proved that he's not boxing ability wise, but did he surprise you in that first fight?
Not at all, because if you look at any interviews before and anything I said, it always says he's resilient and he's really tough and he punches hard. They were the three things I says. His skill set is non-existent at times, but he's a tough, durable guy who will keep going, and it's hard to kind of stop from like coming back. And he showed me that on tenfold. But in terms of like me saying he's not my level boxing ability wise, I was 100% right, and I still stand by that. I still think he's he's much tougher and much more resilient than what I believed. But yeah, I still stand by everything I kind of said and all the pressers and stuff.
Have you been surprised by the way he's come back since that defeat?
No, because I know him. I know how he is.
I've
seen him out in the gym. Like I think when somebody as it comes off a knockout, or it is, but it was down. I'm not just saying this. He's sat here as well, but like you had COVID in the build up to that as well, didn't you? He had COVID into the build up of that, and you could see him like was exhausted. He was like it was exhaustion. It wasn't the fact that Leigh Wood can wallop. Definitely, I know this for a fact. Because everyone that sparred him says he can punch ridiculously hard. But it wasn't just the fact that he's hit him with a great shot. It was the fact he was knackered. He was absolutely knackered. He got put. But you can't dwell on stuff like that.
No,
I was devastated, by the way, as well. I watched it. I was in Dubai at the time. I was mortified.
I was there. I know everyone said it went, but it was the best fight I've ever seen.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable fight. That's why I'm saying, imagine, if you could draw out your next 3 fights, mate, like I know you shouldn't, in boxing, don't look past opponents, but if you can draw out your next 3 fights.
All purses are the same.
Yeah.
You can just pick your next 3 fights in a row.
And an ideal scenario.
A fantasy, mythical world where you win all 3.
Unification, undisputed.
But who against? Tell me the names. Give me 3 names.
Whoever the champions are.
No, come on, Mick.
Oh, if there's no belt, nobody has a belt.
So it's just like a mythical
scenario. If you could pick your next 3 fights in an ideal world, what would they be?
So you beat Lopez and then you fight.
I would go. So with just say they all have belts in. You just say
yeah. So
I would say Leigh Wood, Warrington probably.
Yeah, brilliant though. MSG, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
It'd be amazing.
And who's WBC champion? Ray Vargas.
Yeah.
Ray Vargas or Figueroa, Brandon Figueroa.
then out, done.
Then done.
See you later.
How long do you want your box for now?
Mandatory against
Left.
Isaac Lowe after.
Fuck's sake. I only want to box for. What am I? 31.
Couple more years. Couple more years.
2 years.
Hard game in it, boxing.
Like
You have to be away
as
from
much
your
as
family
as you love boxing and stuff, and as much as that it's everything good is done for me. I won't want my kids to box.
Oh God, no.
I seen an interview with George Groves, might have been the other day, I can't remember, and they were saying to him, why did you retire basically? And he was like, I didn't have that like edge to go hurt someone and I didn't want to go in the ring and
Made loads of money as well.
Yeah, but I didn't really want to like dig in and hurt someone as well. When do you? Because I know you're not like that now. You fucking love it. But when do you think that point when that point comes, will you just jump out straight away?
I don't think that point will ever come for me, because I've had kids. I know his was when he had kids and stuff. He was saying, when he had a kid and stuff. But like, I have kids and I still have the same desire of the win and stuff. Mine is just like, I've been in the game 24 years. It's fucking lifetime. Like, I wanna know what life was like after boxing and experience it after boxing. But I'm still in it now, and I've still got stuff to achieve. So once I achieve that,
that's a long time after boxing as well. So it's not like you're in a rush to.
No, I'm in no rush. Like, I've got things to achieve. I want to achieve what I said I'd achieve, was become world champion, win in a different weight division as well. And that's always been my aim before boxing, or before I turned professional. So now I'm in it, and I'm on the cusp of starting that kind of journey of reaching one of the goals. You know, that's still a long way to go.
Well, I personally think that fight against Lopez is. I think you'll win that fight, and I'm not just saying that. I actually would tell you if I didn't think you would win that fight.
I remember saying to Jamie, I said, listen, if Lara hit Mick in a fight, listen, it could be curtains, but it could also be an easy night. Lopez, I think he's a good style for you. I think it will be maybe tricky for a few rounds, but I think once you get into a rhythm, I think
he's
you'll
awkward,
win.
isn't he? Like, he throws awkward
He's
shots.
awkward on over. He's a very, very good fighter.
Yeah,
Listen,
very good.
If you stand in front of him, he's going to do you. He's a
top
good
fighter.
fighter, can punch. Isn't silly, like, he knows what he's at, and he's got that, you know, Mexican machismo, wanting to take your head off, wanting to have a war. And
it's a great fight for you, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's not an easy fight, even though we're sitting there and we're all saying, yes, I believe you win stuff.
No
It's
world
very,
title
very
fight's
tough.
an easy fight. No
Very
world
tough.
title fight's an easy fight, but I think your crowd's going to help. I think.
See, for me, it'll help, but against him, it doesn't do nothing. But for him, like to him, because he went to Leeds and won a world title.
It's one of the best
that's
atmospheres
hard.
I've ever been to, by the way. It was your fight. You was meant to fight the rematch against.
In the park.
Yeah,
I fought Diego Ruiz, didn't I?
Yeah, Diego Ruiz, one of the best atmospheres I've ever heard.
And here, look at that wee win. That's done well.
Yeah.
That wee win went well. Who did he beat? The Gamal fight, draw with Leigh McGregor.
Yeah.
I'm the only ones took him out, hasn't I?
Yeah. Took him body shot, wasn't
You've started taking everyone out recently, man. Where's this power come from?
That's really people. See, people always. How much?
That's Paul, by the way.
I know by him. I know him giving a nod and stuff. So people, what people have been saying? They're like, for fucking years, I don't punch feather fisted.
No.
You still see people
I've
saying
seen you in the gym and you can punch a lot harder than what people
But the
think you can.
last
I'll be
4 or
honest,
5
I
opponents
said
have
it
all hit
about
the
him.
canvas.
I did say it about you before.
What, you can't punch?
Before I knew him, yeah. I said, unbelievable boxer. I swear to God, I said this.
He told me he said this.
I said, unbelievable boxer.
How come you didn't
but
stick
when-
it on him? Like, you stuck it on
But
me.
I said-
I didn't know he said it. He told me.
No, but I said when he gets to the top level, I don't think he has the power. And then first round against Leigh Wood, Bosch, and I was like, gee,
Yeah.
hands
So
up,
the last
apologies.
4 or last 5 have all hit the canvas.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think that? Do you think that's because you're putting your shots together more, or do you think?
Nah,
it's
I
because
think
you're
it's
having,
just
like, more belief.
I think it's probably one would definitely be belief. 2, I think the connection of stays between me and Adam is
It's got better,
definitely
hasn't it?
100%. That has grown. I'm sitting in the shots more, and you know him. He's always been about that fast twitch punch, you know,
Fast twitch. Yeah.
landing the big shot, and I think it's starting to work much more now. I'm getting used to it. I'm in the style a bit more. I'm lower down. I'm in my knees, as they always do, being their legs and stuff. So I've been in the legs and landing shots heavily enough, and people are going down.
Speaking of power, we've got a fight coming up with 2 probably at the weight, the biggest punchers in the world, with Ryan Garcia Gervonta Davis.
Love that fight.
It's amazing.
So so excited to watch
It's more
that
amazing
fight.
the fact that it's happening, because how many times do we see, oh, these two should be fighting? Crawford Spence.
April Fool's got me yesterday. Someone had put it up saying it was off.
Yeah.
Gervonta's out, and I was like.
But it also wouldn't surprise me. I know, like, I don't want to be that guy, but it wouldn't
no, it
surprise
wouldn't
me
surprise me, it
if
doesn't
this
happen.
fight, for some strange reason, does. But that's because
That division is ridiculous.
outrageously
Shakur
good.
Stevenson, Devin Haney, Tank, Loma, Ryan Garcia. They could all just make 50 million between
Shakur
them.
beats them all.
Yeah, I agree.
He beats
Special.
them all.
He's unbelievable.
It's your special
His
fighter.
controlling of distance and stuff is just like, it's phenomenal. Like,
But I've got a different opinion on, on the
phenomenal.
Tank Garcia fight. I think I'm the only one who's. I think Ryan Garcia stops him.
come
I
on,
did an,
man.
did an
No,
interview
I don't-
yesterday. Do you know in boxing now, Mick, right? Do you stop up and watch, like, do you know, at 4 a.m.s? I used to.
He's just biased to the
There's,
lefties as well.
there's not many fighters I would stay up and
Do you
watch.
think I watched Naz Misfits?
Yeah, there's not there's not many fighters I'll stop and watch.
Aren't you going on Misfits?
I haven't liked that.
Tank, pay me enough money and I'll fight anyone on Misfits.
Me?
Tank, fucking hell, fight you for free. Tank against Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Garcia is going to win, Mick.
I think he stops
I think
him.
it's going to be an horrible left. I might change my mind after the podcast.
You know what though?
Can I give you my?
He deserves so much credit because he's went out of the way.
Hunted him.
He went out to make it himself.
Hunted the
Like
fight, correct.
he's basically made De La Hoya make it.
Yeah, hunted
Can
him
I
down.
give you my? I'll admit I don't know anything about boxing compared to you two, but can I give you my breakdown of what I think
Go
will
on.
happen? Uneducated. I just think Tank has got so much distance to make up to get inside to land his shots, and Ryan's so fast and so powerful. I just think I think he's going to catch him on the way in. I don't think. I think obviously Tank's IQ is unbelievable, but Ryan Garcia is a lot better than people think.
Look at
he is.
Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero's performance against Tank.
He's physically strong.
No, I understand that, but Ryan Garcia's got one of the best left hooks in boxing.
The size difference
yeah?
is
So
big
fast,
as well.
he's so fast.
It comes out. I just think, and I might, as I say, I said it on my 2 interviews yesterday. I might change mine because sometimes I think, fucking hell, Tank could just lever him in 3 rounds.
The safe money's Tank.
But I just think Ryan Garcia has seen something because he's, like you've just said, he has actively said,
Yeah.
I want that fight. And not many people. I know he's a huge star and he's a good payday and stuff, but Ryan Garcia can fight whoever he wants and keep making one. He's actively said, I want to fight him. And fair play to him. The fight's made. I have a feeling, I could be horrifically wrong. We can delete the podcast afterwards if I'm wrong.
There's nothing
I
wrong
think
with being
Ryan
wrong.
Garcia. I actually think Ryan Garcia is going to beat him. I do.
I don't.
What do you
Can't
think
see it.
stoppage?
He's too big of a puncher. Gervonta.
Do you not think they're both big punches then?
They are, but let's be honest. Who's the bigger puncher?
But people keep saying that Luke Campbell put Garcia down, but Tank's so much smaller than Luke for the reach
Still,
and
though,
stuff like that. He's not.
If he put him down, and how he put him down was one of them ones where you're going,
His chin was up in the air.
how's he getting up?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
correct.
he get up and fair play, he get up and came back. But if, and it's a big if, isn't it really? If Gervonta lands on him like that, it's over.
But do you not think Ryan can just keep him long all night? Because the height difference is big.
And you're
think,
not giving him a chance at all in this
I
fight.
give him a chance, definitely, but I can't see past Gervonta Davis winning.
God, it's a hard one.
I think if he was with Reynoso, I would give him probably more of a chance. He's a good coach.
I'm not saying he's not, but like,
He's got his little pad man, doesn't he? His little
Yeah, he's
His
a
new
good
coach is decent though, isn't
But
he? He's lent you his jacket today.
What is his name again? Dan.
We won't talk.
Gooseman, isn't it Joe Gooseman?
We won't go
Double denim
into
goose.
we won't go into attire today, Joshua. Jesus, he's got one sock
He's a
on.
nibbler, isn't he? That's a
Hey?
big nibble. Anyway, his
thrown me
trainer,
off.
Reynoso.
'Cause of my
No, what about
this is my
Reynoso?
tyre gear.
Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso on about.
Eddie Reynoso. No, I just think he doesn't speak English, and Ryan Garcia doesn't speak Spanish. I just think, I think.
And Joe Gooson's a good trainer.
Yeah, Joe Gooson's a good trainer. I just think, I don't know. They never. Ryan Garcia obviously didn't really gel with Eddie Reynoso, which is the reason why
He
he's.
slagged them off a few times.
Yeah, he
since he's
slagged them
left.
off a few times, but I don't like all that kind of stuff. Just like if you're gonna split from someone, shake hands.
that's it.
Shake hands and say see you later. Like I don't
That's
like all that. It's like those people. Just because you're in camp with someone, Canelo's the best fighter in the world, and then afterwards Ryan Garcia
Says
leaves
not.
and goes, oh, Golovkin's gonna beat him, or like the old. version.
Canelo's doing the same.
No, I think it's pathetic. I just
What
think.
Canelo's
It,
saying Tank's going to batter him.
Yeah.
From saying like, I don't think he really ever says Ryan will beat him, but like he would always sit in the fence.
yeah,
Kind
he
of
would
thing.
sit on the fence. He wouldn't go
He's
out
now
right and
come out
say,
his
but
way.
Now he's
to
coming
say.
going, nah, he beats him.
What, I just don't want it to be where the win. Like say Ryan Garcia gets knocked out in 5 rounds, Tank gets knocked out in 5 rounds, and then everyone's like, oh, they were never as good as anybody said they were.
It drives you
It's
mad.
boxing.
Boxing's the worst sport in the world.
Right?
Boxing is the worst sport in the world when it comes to
People losing.
you've lost.
Because think
Worst
of
fighter in the
that,
world.
think of that
Tennis.
division. Jack Cattrall,
Yeah.
Josh Taylor, Prograis.
Jack won that fight though, didn't he?
No, he beat Josh Taylor, yeah. But I'm on.
Yeah.
I know you've just signed him. Good, well, congratulations.
No, but
by the way. Good signing.
Yes, mate. Congratulations. Well
Thank you,
done.
mate.
I've told you this before. I've never met Jack Cattrall. I think Josh did take him lightly, and I think Josh would beat him again.
Possibly so. In the sense of took him
And I
lightly.
think Regis Prograis beats him as well.
Yeah, that's.
I had, before, I'll be honest, put my hands up. I didn't care who won. I was picking those sides, but I did think Taylor was going to stop him. And I was pleasantly surprised, and I says,
You've never seen a fight that was. It's one of the worst robberies ever, isn't it?
It's
It is.
It's one of the. It's up the top. I saw. There's been.
deserved my Olympic kind of reaction. to
Yeah.
it.
There was a lot of memes of your memes. You know, when
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
gets robbed, there's always him going.
They're cheats.
There's cheats.
They're
They're
fucking
fucking
cheats.
cheats.
So obviously you're not going to say
From
Josh is. You're not going to
top
say.
down to the core.
From the bottom right to the top.
From the bottom right to the
Right
top.
to the core.
They're fucking cheats.
So you're not going to say Jack's going to lose, obviously, but that's a.
Jack he wouldn't lose against Josh Taylor in a rematch. I think Josh Taylor.
But that division I'm saying is stacked. It's got.
Yeah, it's a
Taylor,
great fight.
Cattrall.
But the one thing is
So how
about.
did Kettle, can I ask, sorry to butt in, why did he leave Sky, or what happened there?
So what happened was, basically Jack signed with Boxer to fight Josh Taylor on the promise he gets Josh Taylor. So it's not, listen, shit happens, doesn't it? You know in boxing, mate, shit happens. He's had very bad luck. What Jack needs now is that fight never got, it got made. Josh Taylor, there was a loophole, he's fighting Teofimo Lopez. Nobody can criticise Josh Taylor for fighting Teofimo Lopez.
Is that happening though? It's not been announced.
It's done. It's done. It's happening in the Hulu in New York. But great fight. Honestly, great fight.
That's a tough fight.
So that's for both of them, because you have to imagine Teofimo Lopez is not coming off the best run of form, and Josh Taylor's. I don't like the fact, by the way, because I know Josh Taylor probably don't think much of me, but like I actually think it's harsh when he tweets and everyone's just going, "Oh, you're a shit," but mate, he's a former undisputed champion. Like he's a great fighter. He just lost.
Fighter, yeah.
He just lost, and he got the decision. I think it was more the reaction that people kind of had jumped on the fact, because it was so obvious that he won, that he lost the fight. But going long story short, him against Lopez is a great great fight.
I remember you saying to me about Lopez saying one of the most talented fighters
Yeah.
you've ever seen in the gym.
Yeah.
That was you that said that to me. wasn't it?
He used to train in the Vegas, in the City Atlantic gym.
Yeah. You would've been around him a lot.
I've been around Lopez.
I love Lopez.
Unbelievable fighter, but lost his mojo in the last couple of fights. He's another one.
Mentally,
all between his ears. He looks like he's lost his mojo a little bit. And him and Taylor, because Taylor's a bit of an angry man at the moment. I can't pick a winner in that fight.
I'll be honest.
I picked Taylor, and
If Josh Taylor's on form,
it's too big.
I don't think Taylor Cattrall happens again, because I think
No.
Cattrall gets beat along the way.
okay. Well,
If
that's
fights
your opinion.
No, it's my opinion.
No, but I'm saying
I love Cattrall,
but
I think if he fights
it's a
Prograis-
weird one, because it's like saying if Wood goes on to lose a couple of fights. I know
Can happen anyway.
I know
Can
Mick's,
happen anyway.
I know Mick's saying that he wouldn't, but I know Jamie would make the fight. If with look, because the fight's always going to be there, because Mick's always going to think, I wanted to get that result back. So Taylor against Cattrall, Taylor needs Cattrall, because Cattrall don't walk down the street and they go, you need to right that wrong. Josh Taylor gets that. So that fight's always going to be there. And you're wrong about your analysis there. Jack Cattrall will win a world title very soon.
You know, I think he will win a world title, but I think at some point before Taylor, he's going to have to go through Regis Prograis. He's going to have to go through other fighters.
Who does he fight for a world title?
There's a lot.
Prograis got a world title.
There's a lot of
one,
options. You can go the WBA route, the IBF
Ramirez.
route. Yeah.
Just
A lot of the world
don't go
titles
the
were.
Prograis.
I'd get
Two of
Ramirez.
the world titles were of top rank.
I'd get Ramirez for Jack Cattrall in September. He's fighting at the end of May. I'd do the Ramirez fight in
Well,
September.
they get co-pro.
Yeah, whatever.
rank
Yeah,
and-
whatever. But like,
But is that realistic though? Like he's saying with
yeah, of course it is.
Matchroom and them?
Matchroom have worked with Top Rank plenty of times.
Matchroom would be to work with.
Regis
with their
Prograis
match.
and Cattrall is an unbelievable fight.
Yeah,
isn't it?
great fight.
Do
Great
you
fight.
think he wins that fight?
I think Jack Cattrall wins that fight. Jack says openly, Taylor's a more difficult fight for me stylistically than Regis Prograis.
He played the Taylor fight so well.
Huh?
He played the Taylor fight so well.
Yeah.
Taylor did
He just one thing
was cat blood, didn't he?
Catchall's good at is he slows you down to his pace. No matter what pace you fight at, he's able to control the pace.
Yeah.
And he's done that against Josh.
But I like what I say. Whatever Josh Taylor thinks of me, I was a big Taylor fan. Like, I think he's a phenomenal fighter.
Yeah.
Like, look what he's done in those small fights, and all of his opponents. You won't find too many losing records on Josh Taylor.
At some point, I seemed like he had like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like these last 4 opponents, like 152 and 1 or something in between, and it was.
That's what I mean. And like, you got to look at, and also style. You know this, Mick, as well. Styles in boxing make fights. So Taylor could beat someone that Jack might struggle with, but Jack's style against Taylor is a bit of a kryptonite style for him. I just think he'd beat Taylor all day, every day.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
So if we're going back to, because he might have to fight Tank or Garcia at some point if they go up to, because Ryan Garcia's going up to 140 after this fight. He's already said it's catch weight. But how do you think that fight ends up?
Which one?
Garcia, Tank, like prediction.
Garcia, I've just said.
I want your exact prediction.
I think it's cagey to start with. I think Ryan Garcia will try and keep him long. I think Tank will be aggressive. After I think he'll get into the 6th, 7th round, and I think he's going to walk on to an enormous left hook for some strange. I could be really wrong. Please delete this podcast afterwards. But I just think he's going to walk onto a big, horrific left hook.
Well, you don't have to delete it because I'm the same as you. I think.
But now you've said that, I definitely don't think. Right, Tank's going to win.
I think within the first 6 rounds, Garcia, Tank gets clipped.
Nah, Tank does him in 9.
Yeah, a complete knockout or like
A complete knockout.
on the back, flat packed. Oh dear.
Memeage.
Yeah.
Don't mind
I think so. I think he lands and it's over.
I agree with that, by the way. If Tank lands anywhere on the base of his boat race, it's finished. I do think that, but I also think vice versa. I think the same thing. I think if Ryan Garcia lands his left hook, it's finished.
Well,
Both good
Ryan
shots.
Garcia's proved that
has
he can
Tank
take
it down?
shots. He's not even really took anything, has he? Tank?
He wobbled against Rowley, I think.
Do you think?
I think it was.
Nah, he didn't.
No?
No, he didn't.
What fight
No
am I thinking
way.
of? What fight am I
Leon
thinking of?
Pedraza?
But even
can't remember.
Tank's fought. He's not fought anybody really of note. He's fought Leo Santa Cruz, who's probably your division. Let's be
And
honest.
past his best as well.
He's not even that weight,
Past his best.
and he had to come.
Jose Pedraza.
Yeah, Pedraza's not a puncher.
He's not really had to.
Solid.
He's not really had to prove
And that was a super featherweight.
that he's a top fighter. But anyway, done with that. Heavyweights. Usyk Fury. What's your thoughts?
Bollocks. Total bollocks. It's embarrassing.
Who is it? What Fury is?
No, everything. It's embarrassing, the fact that they've not. It's the first time since Lennox Lewis you can have an undisputed champion. They've not made the fight. I don't blame the promoters at all. In boxing, like you know, it's all to do with egos, and I just think lower the egos and make the fight because it's embarrassing.
If people wanted, if both fighters wanted to fight, it would happen.
100%.
Someone didn't want it.
I agree with this.
Well, I think they both wanted it, but I don't think Fury really wanted it on that day.
Well, there you go. Then that's
yeah,
that
no, but I mean, people saying he's ducked him. I don't think he's ducked him, but I think he has ducked him for that day, if that makes sense.
Because it takes time to prepare for someone like him. And
Yeah.
I think as Steve Cunningham showed against Fury, the smaller man who is more agile and faster,
nimble, and
is like a problem for him.
Usyk calling his bluff on the 70-30 was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
I think that's a disgrace. Like, he holds most of the belts. He's a proper world champion. He just beat Joshua.
Come on now. If you was negotiating against,
know,
okay, let me try and think.
No, I agree.
Robsy Ramirez,
Jordan
yeah.
Gill.
Robsy Ramirez, right, in Belfast, yeah, in the split, in the splits, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying to him, oh, he's a champion, give him 50-50, give him
No,
60?
but
Oh, you bollocks.
No, I'm not.
Jamie
I'm
Collins
not.
going to give it 70-30 split.
I'm not, but the 70-30 is like, I'm going. The
At
fact
the
that
same time,
the
I
fact that
personally
he
think
accepted it, like, I'm going, fuck me, fair play to you, like, but I
But
wouldn't accept that.
Usyk wanted 70-30 in the rematch. I personally think...
That's fair.
No,
I think that's fair.
but how about this? 60, because Tyson Fury goes no rematch clause, yeah? 60-40, one-off fight, Tyson Fury's favour. That's what should have happened. And Usyk should have just agreed to that.
Yeah.
Because if Usyk's confident on beating Tyson Fury, what happens? Tyson Fury's going to want the rematch.
Yeah.
And then you can say, you're having 90-10.
But you see, on your point though about him saying about 70, there's a difference between 70-30 of a £2 million pot and a £100 million pot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It is different.
No, it is different. But I'm saying to you, like, you know as well as I do, in boxing, the biggest thing that stops fights is ego.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that stops fights, and I just think, oh my god, the first time since That's why I just don't think you're ever going to see a heavyweight as good as Lennox Lewis and the type of guy he was. Like, got beat, rematched him, would box everybody in the area. Look at in the old days, Foreman and Muhammad Ali. They all boxed each other. All these heavyweights are finding reasons to not. And I'm not just saying this because I used to like manage him and stuff, and he's my mate. But Joe would fight anybody, any one of those fighters. He'd be like, right, you fight him next, no problem. And I just know a lot of, like you just said there. The reason why that fight never happened, that's the only reason why in boxing, ego, but one side slightly might have not wanted the fight. And I don't know which side it was, but it didn't...
It seems to be Fury.
It seems like it's Fury.
Yeah,
if a man's willing to accept 70-30 and just ask for the same in a rematch, one person doesn't really want it then. And they're not going to give that. Like,
no, I agree.
If I seen Fury mention about saying, oh, we should just fuck the rematch off, there shouldn't even be a rematch clause.
Yeah.
But there was no rematch clause. He was the one in the contract, and then they says there is no rematch clause.
Tyson wanted the rematch clause in the beginning. That's why I just said, do the fight one off 60-40. So Tyson should have said, okay, there's no rematch clause. I'll give you 60-40 because if Usyk accepting a 70-30 split, you should have. From my understanding of the situation is the reason why the fight never happened is because Tyson wouldn't agree to a 70-30 rematch in Usyk's favour. That's what I'm understanding. I might be wrong there, but that's from what I've been told by sources. So if that's the case...
Which sources?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Can't tell
Josh Windass. No, and that's the reason why. So, but I thought, sack the rematch clause off, because if you beat Tyson Fury, he's going to want a rematch, and then he's going to have to come and dance to your tune. Yeah. You can offer him an 80-20 split, and he'd have to take it, because it's like, what's the only way you're going to get the rematch? Because it's like you say, you was a mandatory against Lara. There was no rematch clause in there. Yeah. In this, it's. I just think it's absolutely pathetic that they've not managed to get this fight done, because everyone wants to see it. And the fight's a stinker, by the way. The fight is a stinker.
It won't be too exciting.
It's a stinker, but it's not the point. You want to see who's the top dog. We're number one against number two, but it is what it is. Boxing's a strange sport sometimes, and very, very frustrating, because fans can't really process as to why fights can't happen like that. But it is what it is.
Well, Fury's dealt with everyone so far with ease, really, hasn't he?
I wouldn't say ease.
Well, the Deontay Wilder last fight was the only one he's really struggled in. The first fight, he outboxed him easily until the last round, but he was 900 stone, wasn't he? And then since that fight, he's beat Dillian White without getting touched. So
Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, Josh, in my opinion. He is, isn't he? He's the best heavyweight in the world. If that fight was against Deontay Wilder, the first one, was in the United Kingdom, what happens in that fight? The fight would have been waved straight off, correct?
Yeah.
It would have looked at Tyson like this. I was ringside, like this, eyes in the back of his head like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
The referee would have waved it off, finished. Otto Warlin cut Tyson Fury with a punch.
Yeah, finished.
Fight would have been waved off. John McDermott, that was a 50-50 fight. That could have gone either way. So if this is fact, could be 3 losses on Tyson Fury's record.
Yeah.
Fact.
I get what you're saying, but
honestly, it's a fact. What
as
I'm saying
much of a fan of Usyk I am,
Tyson
I
beats
still
him.
think Fury beats him.
Too long, too big.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, why is it not happening?
Yeah.
There must be a reason why it's not happening. He must see something.
Tyson probably just looks at him and just thinks, I can fight Francis Ngannou for 3 times the amount of fighting this little fella who's going to cause me like all kinds of problems. Yeah, he is. He could just. There's so many different options for him to fight. Thinking, I just don't want to fight you. I don't fancy it.
If you could pick 4 or 5 fights from any division that you could make, which fights would you make? I would make in heavyweight Usyk Wilder. It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it? No. Usyk Anthony Joshua, Wilder Anthony Joshua. Yeah. It's over in a
Tyson Fury Joe Joyce, AJ Fury, but like in the other divisions, I don't know. Like you want to see
Spence Crawford.
Yeah, but I'm getting bored of talking about that now.
That's not even on my radar.
I'd rather see Boots Ennis fight Crawford now.
But Crawford's getting old.
Yeah, but he's not shown signs of any decline. He's got no wear and tear on him whatsoever. Never been in a close fight.
I think he has. I think the Benavidez fight was tough for him until he knocked him out.
He's unbelievable.
That was a hard fight for him until he knocked him out.
But no real miles on the clock.
No,
he's a young 34, 35-year-old.
He hasn't took no patience.
Yeah, like Errol Spence, like
Canelo Benavidez.
Oh, I was going to say
if he comes through John Ryder.
Yeah. But I actually think Canelo beats Benavidez. I never actually did. I actually used to think Benavidez could be.
After watching Plant, is that what you mean?
Yeah, after watching that fight, I think Canelo would beat him, and I think they should do it sooner rather than later because Canelo seems to be not dipping, but I just think he's gently.
He's on the decline now.
Gently.
I want to see Anthony Hard, Callum Smith. That's a fight I want to see.
I want to see Anthony Hard against Joshua Buatsi.
Buatsi's the most overrated fighter. Should we just talk about Lawrence Okoli actually for 1 second? Absolutely useless.
It's hard.
You could not pay me to go to one of his fights ever again. I promise you.
But the thing is,
and by the way, I don't know him. He's probably a lovely geezer. After his fight the other week, I just had to say it on the podcast because it's doing man nothing. I will never watch one of his fights again. It could be against.
You will. You're going to watch him against Chris Smith. You're lying.
I guarantee I don't watch his fight.
I guarantee you're lying. You're going to watch him against Chris Smith.
Lawrence
Okoli.
Don't watch it.
Huh?
When's that happening?
Same date as yours.
Is that his fate? I thought Bill Smith was going to fight Rackport.
No, I've heard that Lawrence Okoli is going to be announced next week.
He's on the same night as you.
What do you reckon, Jake? You know. Jake's got the inside over there. 100%. Lawrence Okoli against Bill Smith.
I won't watch that.
You will.
It's on the same night as him, so I won't.
Oh yeah, I definitely won't because of Zeke.
But seriously,
you've got a guy on it there as well.
I'm being disrespectful, but do you know? I've seen all the Eddie Hearn stuff about saying, going over to boxing. That he must be buzzing. He's gone to boxing.
I've watched Lawrence Okoli spar against Joe Joyce, and I'm telling you now, it was competitive.
But he's the worst to watch.
No,
ever.
he's not. But he's not always like Lawrence Okoli. And I was talking to his brother yesterday. Lawrence is Big Henry. He's got a stinker in him. He has got a stinker in him because I've seen.
He's terrible TV.
Matty Askin against Lawrence Okoli is one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. It is.
Every fight he has is
no,
rubbish.
I disagree.
The majority of them are.
Isaac Chamberlain.
They're horrific.
Yes, the majority of his fights are not good to watch. He wins, he's effective and he wins, and he's a world champion, but he's a world champion in probably the weakest weight in boxing.
But yeah, I agree with this, but I'm telling you this now, who beats him in the cruiserweight division?
But who
It's the
cares?
weakest weight in boxing.
No, I understand that, but
Rackport, no.
you can't. No,
I don't know.
I don't think Riakporhe wins because Lawrence is like.
What about that
Aussie
Aussie?
Gulamarian. He used to spar Joe, by the way. My
Aussie
God,
is
he can
this?
fight, huh?
The Aussie kid?
I know who you're talking about. I forget his name.
Jai.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But Okoli might as well just go up to heavyweight now. He might as well.
I agree.
There's no point in
I
being
agree.
at cruiserweight.
I told this to Lawrence. I said, Lawrence, you should probably have one more fight at cruiserweight and move on. I like Lawrence Okoli. I like him as a person. I think.
I'm just judging him purely on his boxing performances.
I understand it. You're judging him as a fan.
No, not even as a fan, just as like somebody. I obviously watch boxing.
That performance against David Lai.
That's like 5 in a row.
David Lai genuinely is. I just think he was.
It's like watching Grimsby v Port Vale every week.
I genuinely think David Lai is the worst world title challenger. One of the top 3 worst world title challengers I've ever seen. So
that means, do you think Lawrence Okoli is probably the worst world champion?
No, definitely not.
Who's the worst world champion then if Lawrence Okoli?
The worst world champion in boxing today?
The worst world champion in boxing.
Prince Patel.
He's not a world champion.
Is Lawrence Okoli.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree. Well, Lawrence got talent. He was an Olympian, mate, off like 20 odd amateur fights. I don't know.
You can't tell me one.
No, I don't know. I really don't know.
I might watch him fight Riakporhe if he fights Riakporhe.
That's what I mean. Like you're over exaggerating a little bit there.
I won't watch him fight.
No, listen,
I'll say this. I think it was the wrong move going to Sugar Hill. I think he should have stayed with Shane McGuigan.
Honestly, I said this the other day. Credit where it's due. Shane's a good coach. Yeah. Very, very, very good coach. Arguably in the top 3 best in the UK. I think that's undebatable. Shane McGuigan had Lawrence Okoli getting better. More exciting. Yeah, you watched the Glowacki fight, knocked him out. That was an exciting fight.
What was the one at the O2 when he fought the Polish geezer at the O2 and he was like...
Yeah, he knocked him out. Glowacki.
Was that him?
Yeah, he knocked Glowacki out. Shane should have stayed with Shane McGuigan. So all that stuff of he's moved to Dubai and stuff.
So why did he leave?
Because he's a resident. He's given up his residency. He's now.
So he don't have to pay tax.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So he's saying he's
no, but listen to this.
He's a dodger.
But you can still come. No, because he lives in Dubai. But you could still come to Dubai, like what you would do with Adam Booth. I know it's the same thing, isn't it? You fly in. You live in Surrey for training and go back. In my opinion. Big mistake leaving. Sugar Hill's a great coach, really great coach, but he's not a great coach for everybody.
If the reason he can't do that is because if he's a tax resident,
you can
Dubai,
move. You can stay in England as a holiday for 3 months.
But you only got 3 months. How much time is he going to train? 5
8
a year?
weeks.
Twice a year? Nah.
No, but you can come back and you go back again. You can, if you go, as long as you go back, you come back. You get 3 months each time.
Speaking of trainers, though, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a mythical question about trainers?
Go ahead.
Never say mythical question about trainers ever again.
No, Adam Booth
Yeah.
rings you now saying, "Oh, I'm fucking it off." You could choose any trainer in the world. Who'd you go to?
It's a hard one.
You probably get your brother training.
Good question, though, isn't it?
I'd probably get my dad out from the
dad?
national squad.
Yeah.
Because he trained the Olympic squad, and I would
I
say,
knew you was
listen,
going to say that.
because he's
It's
a
a boring
great,
answer, isn't it?
he's a
No,
great,
it's not, because
Nice,
you just
is it?
trust.
he's a
you
great
trust-
coach, and I'd rather him get the 10% than someone
Yeah.
else. You know what I mean?
Boo's, yours and Boo's relationship.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it keeps getting, and it probably got better. Correct me if I'm wrong. It probably got better when you after you
100%,
lost, because of
100%.
the trust between
Yeah,
each other. So
100%.
that's why I say, like, you deserve your moment together.
Yeah,
Do you understand what I mean? Like,
no,
do you know that
100%,
when you win the
yeah.
world title, it's like going to be a real good.
Yeah, it'll mean something.
Correct,
It'll
a
mean
really,
something.
good moment. But yeah, going back to Lawrence Kerr, I think you're very harsh. I think yes.
I'm being genuine.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
know I'm hammering him,
And David Light, I think I could sit on Mick's shoulders and take him 12 rounds.
David Light delivered my Uber Eats the other night when I got it after the game.
Yeah. Horrific.
Fuck's sake.
He was horrific, and I
But
think
still,
that.
it's Harry fought. It's up to
That's not
Coley to
Lawrence's
handle it.
fault.
Aye.
It's not
It's
Lawrence's
up-
fault
but
that he
it's up-
got that opponent either.
It's up to him to
But
handle
I
it.
agree with what you've just. I agree exactly what you said.
Shane
Go back to
McGuigan,
Shane McGuigan.
yeah.
Honestly, say you made a mistake. Make it work with Shane and go back and work with McGuigan
I
because
thought he could only be in the country for a certain amount of time.
No, you're 3 months. 3 months.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Being a tax resident somewhere else when
Yes.
you're originally a tax resident here is
Yes,
different.
and
No?
you can go away for 3 months as long as you come back. But even so, make it work with him. Just make it work with him because it's better for your career. Like everyone keeps, it's like sometimes it's in fashion to train with someone. Do you not agree with me?
So
like
where's
that?
he training with?
In Dubai, I think, or in America. We
It's
should get
Miami, wasn't it?
In America.
Miami,
Dubai to America's 14-hour job.
Yeah, but all I'm saying
you should go up
is
to heavyweight and fight Dillian White.
yeah, great fight. But
That's what you should do.
Dillian White's not going to look and think, I'll fight a human tarantula like that against Lawrence Kerr.
So awkward,
Dillian's not going to fight him, and I'm right.
Chisora?
No, I don't want to. Derek needs to just do his promotion. I don't want to see Derek Chisora really.
Popped
I
up everywhere at the minute, old
I
bad
hope
boy.
he retires.
He's earned loads of money. Move on now. Job
done.
done.
And like he's going on about people saying about him retiring. I really think he needs to retire.
He looks old as well now, doesn't he?
It's not even
It's
that.
not
It's
old,
like
it's
in
not-
the next few years or
He's been in wars.
He's a
though.
rude fucker as well, isn't he? Let's be honest.
his.
The way he speaks to people.
I like
I think
that.
I think how he speaks and everything will start to change in the next few years.
Yeah.
He's took an awful lot of damage.
That's
to
why I
his-
say. That's what I'm saying. Do you know when you wear and tear on you, like you've miles on the clock? I just think, oh my god, like he's took some stick, hasn't he? Like in his career, just like you've made loads of money, you've got young family, do your promoting in Saudi Arabia, make loads of money, job done.
Like that when he fought Fury, that was bad to watch.
It was. I was sick as a dog after 3 rounds enough.
Fury should have knocked him out in the first 4 because he tried to keep him going. You could
didn't wanna
visibly see
hurt
he was
him,
trying.
he
but
didn't
he
He
wanna
didn't
should-
really want to hurt
But he
him.
should have hurt him and got it done quicker
Because
because
it
he
was
actually
worse.
made it
Just
worse.
the pebbling, like it was much worse.
But anyway,
Yeah, job done. Nice one.
podcast done.
Thanks, Mick.
Legend.
Stuff.
Just like to thank the restaurant M on Canary Wharf for having us today. It's a beautiful setting.
There is like a really nice setting as well. Like we've faced the wrong way. Like if you look over there, it's like really nice.
Mr. Martin Williams, we appreciate it, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Cheers, guys.